Hello everyone in the YouTube universe. I'm Rob Goodwin. The channel is Ketogenic Bodybuilding, and this is Keto for the Extreme Physique Culture. All things to do with hard training within a ketogenic or low carb nutritional protocol. And today is episode 2 of our new question and answer series. But before we get down to business, I want to take care of some quick business and ask you if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, because it does help us really push our message out into the YouTube universe so we may be able to share this, exciting content with others out there who are like-minded and looking for this type of content. So I'm going to thank you in advance for that, and I really, really appreciate your support. So let's move on to Q&A number 2. I have a little bit of time between a shoulder workout and my afternoon clientele, so I wanted to get this done for you. I've got a couple of questions selected from our Ketogenic Bodybuilding Facebook group, and I want to go ahead and cover those real quick. And so let's get right down to it. The first one is from Emily with 2 E's, so I'm not sure if that's like E, if I'm supposed to stretch that out. I don't know how that works. But so we'll just go with Emily. Emily asks, I've never stepped into a gym. Where do I start? Do I get a trainer? Where can I find some workout routines? Okay. Newsflash. I'm a coach and a trainer. That's what I do. In case you didn't know, I've been doing this for 25 years. It's pretty much the only thing I've ever done. I have been in the trenches of the health and fitness industry for my entire life, and obviously, I'm a believer in making the investment of working with a professional trainer to help shave months, even years off of your learning curve to learn how to train and eat properly. So the first thing I would recommend you do if you go that route is really start trying to do your best to vet a local trainer. Ask around. If you're in a gym, it's not going to take too many conversations with too many gym members to find out who many of the gym members respect on staff as a trainer. So get their opinions. When you do narrow it down to a person or two, have a casual conversation with them. See if you just initially hit it off. Personal training, that relationship between a trainer and a client is just that. It's extremely personal. You have to have a connection with someone. You have to be able to relate to them. You have to know that no matter what's going in your day, you can walk in and you feel comfortable with that person there helping you through that grueling workout. It becomes a real partnership, and I know this from experience. I have clients that have been with me since 2005, and I couldn't get rid of them if I tried because they like the relationship that we've built. We're friends, but we're also partners in this together, and they know that I will push them. I will tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, but they also know it's coming from a place of love and respect. So you have to know, and you'll know pretty quickly, that the person that you're engaging with may potentially be somebody that fits that criteria, okay? If you get past that first step, it's sort of like a dating process. You get past that first step, ask for some testimonials. Ask for some before and afters. Ask if you can maybe speak with one of their clients. They probably have one standing around them at that moment, or could easily produce one. Really, see where they've been, what they've accomplished. Look at their physiques. Somebody's going to say, well, that's shallow and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, but I personally believe that if you're in the business of bringing out the absolute best in your clientele and bringing out the best physique possible, you should be able to walk that walk. It's extremely important to me on a daily basis to make sure that I'm doing all that I can to be as fit and lean and muscular and strong as I possibly can be to show them that I walk the walk. Probably the main reason I compete in competitive bodybuilding is to show my clients that if I'm willing to walk through fire for myself, I'm willing to walk through fire for them. So just kind of gauge those little nuances and make sure that, hey, is this person I'm talking to a person that I would even want to aspire to be like? And I think that's really, really important. So just consider those things. Definitely find out if you can get a free workout. I'm sorry, I know there's some celebrity trainers out there that think that they're too good for the world and they have to be, paid for everything. But no matter what I have going on in my career, I will always, if I'm interested in working with a new client on my gym floor, I'll always extend a free session because I want to get to know them too. I want to know that the relationship goes both ways. So get that free session with that trainer, ask a lot of questions, see if you're a good fit, see if you feel comfortable. And just, I think most times when you're going through a workout, in your gut if this person has a good feel and a good grasp on what they're doing in their profession. That's usually not that tough to figure out. So again, comfort's important, knowledge is important, and if they walk the walk is important. The other thing about personal training is you make that investment, it's not necessarily have to be forever. I have clients that want to come to me and work with me for a month or two just to gain what's in my head, work with me for a few months. They gather that information, they take notes, they ask lots of questions, and then they decide, hey, I've learned so much from this guy, now I'm going to go apply that knowledge on my own in the gym for myself or wherever, in my home gym or whatever. So you could have the goal of just working with your trainer for a month or two and learning as much and getting as much of an education as possible. What may happen during that trial period is you may decide, hey, I like the accountability of knowing that all I have to do is show up and my trainer has my workout ready for me. He or she is going to walk me through every set and every rep. He or she is going to push me and hold me accountable. And probably more important than anything, a trainer should always tell you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear. Because when you go back out into the world, you're going to have a lot of people telling you what you want to hear. And there's a lot of pathological jealousy out there, and people that are going to want to hold you back. And very few people out there are going to be real with you. A good trainer is going to tell you like it is, but they're going to do it out of a place of love and compassion and respect. So if you don't get that vibe from your trainer or potential trainer, maybe move on to the next one. So that's what I would take a look at if I was hiring a personal trainer. Online is a huge thing right now for personal training, but there's very different levels of that. I currently offer an online personal training plan. It is month to month. I don't believe in contracts. I think that's crap, and I think it's thievery when gyms and personal trainers do require a commitment or a contract. They should be good enough to know that they can earn that respect in that business without roping somebody into a contract. My online personal training gives you personal interaction with me 24/7 on a really cool app, and I build custom workouts, not cookie cutter workouts, according to the unique goals that my clients have. And then I try to make sure that I bring out the very best in them through those workouts, through that cardiovascular prescription, and through those macros and nutritional guidelines that I set. So that's an option. And if it's not me, then perhaps someone else. I just want you to get out there and do what makes you happy and gets you set down the road. If these two options are out of your budget, which they can be, and that's cool, I'm going to throw out a small plug. I do have an online membership called In the Trenches, and it's only $7 a month. Cancel at any time. Again, I hate contracts. I don't do them. So for the price of one of these fancy sugar-laden Starbucks coffees, you have access to what I believe right now currently is about 167 workouts, and they're the workouts that I do. So if you want to replicate the workouts that I do, $7 a month, you get access to every single one of them. There's a video description of every exercise. There's the sets that I did, the reps that I did, and I'll even often add in notes as to why I did them. I throw in my intensity techniques like supersets and pre-exhaust and forced reps, and sometimes I'll even throw in a short video or a photograph to explain things even more deeply. So, man, I got to tell you, no apologies from me for recommending a $7 a month membership where you can just replicate what I do without thinking about it. Pull it up on your smartphone, knock out the workout, and I think you'll enjoy that. So, but this isn't some big long sales pitch. I want you to do whatever works best for you. There are lots of resources out there. If you can't afford to work with a professional, there's YouTube. You're looking at me right now on YouTube and hopefully getting some good information from me. There's lots of resources. You can Google things. I mean, the options are limitless. But again, it's not so much about that as it is making sure that you're getting the right knowledge and you're applying it and you're being consistent and you're just actually getting out there and doing something. So don't spend too much time overthinking these details. The most important step is the first one. Just do something. Because it's December right now. We've got New Year's resolutions on the horizon coming in January. And the first thing just about everybody does when they make that resolution or they resolve to make some dramatic change in their body for the 37th time, what's the first thing they do that I see? They will often starve themselves to death and go do tons of cardio, which is probably the exact opposite of what you should do. So if your goal is to get lean and be muscular and fit and beautiful and gorgeous and jacked and whatever term you want to throw at it, a properly structured strength training plan and a well-structured diet is going to get you there faster than everything else, and then provided you let it all recover properly. So the big step is just start. So hopefully some of those tips resonate with you and make sense, and it motivates you to take that first step into getting something done. But by all means, for God's sake, just do something. And I'm so glad you're here and asking these questions of that, because that means to me that you probably are ready to roll. So hopefully that answer helped to some degree. Next question. I see people post the term or use the term, as long as it fits your macros, you can eat it. But isn't it better or healthier to eat for optimum nutrition and macros so the body can build muscle more effectively? And that was submitted by Fair. And I'm just going to be honest here, and you can agree with me or not. I have a pretty firm, unwavering stance and position on this. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. I know there's a lot of coaches, prep coaches, trainers out there who absolutely despise the term, if it fits your macros. Every time I hear that term, I want to vomit, okay? And here's why. It can be manipulated so many ways. It's such a broad blanket term that really lends to no specifics whatsoever. What the questions should be is what I'm about to eat going to fit within the macros that my coach or trainer have set for me, or that I have set for myself after doing serious due diligence and research to know that I have set the proper caloric ceiling, I have the right or close to the right protein grams. I use grams, not percentages. I have the right fat grams, and I have the right carbohydrate grams. I have the right amounts and put in the right combination, in the right frequency. All these things come into play. It is a prescription, a nutritional prescription. It's not just some blanket coverage. So if it is determined by yourself or your coach that if you're in a cutting phase and you're trying to shed body fat, and let's say that it is determined when we run the numbers that 2,100 calories puts you into the caloric deficit that you need to drop body fat, then if you or anyone tells me that as long as you eat under 2,100 calories, it doesn't matter if it's coming from gummy bears or steak and eggs or chicken and asparagus, well, I think that's just batshit crazy, because foods react to the body differently, okay? I can tell you right now, if I'm working with a physique competitor, somebody who in a certain amount of time is going to be standing on stage in front of 2,000 people in what's the equivalent of their underwear, I know that the food that they put in their body and the quality of that food, it shows up every time. And little adjustments in even certain foods on the latter stages of a contest prep can react differently to every client. I have some that have a drier, harder appearance when they carb up on sweet potatoes, and I have some that have a harder, drier appearance when they carb up on white rice. I have some people that react differently to fish, and I have some people that react differently to chicken, and I have some people who just thrive on platefuls of ground beef. I have some people who take in 1,000 grams of carbs and just crush it, and I have some people who can't take in any more than 10 or they'll fall apart. So if it fits your macros is horseshit. Now, if what you're about to eat is nutritionally dense, it doesn't affect you negatively, and it fits within the guidelines set by yourself or your coach trainer, then yeah, that's what you want to be looking for. But these silly blanket statements drive me absolutely crazy. And I've had conversations with top level prep coaches, these guys that work with Olympia quality athletes, who despise that term just as much as I do. So if somebody's answer to you, if you ask a question, is simply if it fits your macros, period, walk away from that statement and continue to investigate, because that was some really, really vague and potentially destructive advice, okay? So yeah, not a big fan of it fits your macros. I like nutrient density. So even on a carb up, on one of our structured refeeds, I don't just say, refeed with 100 grams of carbs and then say it doesn't matter if it's coming from a sweet potato or a bag of M&Ms. To me, it does matter, and there's a lot of variables there. And this is a whole nother video where I would need to explain the nuances of this. So I'm always going to recommend a more nutrient-dense carbohydrate like a sweet potato or rice or some gluten-free oats or some cream of rice or something to that effect. Just like I'm going to recommend, if you can afford it, grass-fed beef or free-range organic chicken over too nasty, Franken meat that you just stripped off a double quarter pounder and threw down your throat. I'm going to frown upon that, okay? So I want you to not only build the most incredibly pleasant, aesthetically appealing, jacked, ripped, beautiful physique that you can possibly build, but I want the plumbing working pretty damn well on the inside as well, and I want to keep that inflammation at bay, and I want to regulate some of those, hormonal responses that can get out of whack and wreak havoc in your body. I hope that makes sense. So again, if it fits your macros, don't ever say that to me. Now you know what's going to happen. There's going to be 3,700 people who are going to IM me if it fits your macros just to F with me. I know how this works. So that's my answer on that. So it was an excellent question. Lastly, so we can wrap this up, Kayla wants to know, how in the hell do you make cod look so tasty? Kayla, it's all about the spices, brother. It's all about the spices. It's not about your fancy plating. It's not about the fine china. It's not about the particular camera work that you apply to it or the depth of field or the lighting. It's all about the spices. I love a good chipotle garlic pepper spice on my cod. And if you've seen the magnificent pictures of my cod when I was in my cut, and they are magnificent, what you'll notice there is a nice specific combination of chipotle garlic pepper and a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt and just the right amount of chipotle Tabasco sauce. Ever so gently applied, not in excess. You can overdo that shit. You gotta be careful. So how do you make a bland piece of cod amazing? It's all about the spices. Don't forget that. So play with the spice rack, go nuts with it, make it your own, and pepper up your cod and make it amazing. That's the secret. So, okay, I've went on enough. I gotta get back to work. I've got online clients to program. I've got nutrition only clients I have to yell at, praise, tell them they're doing a good job. And then I gotta get on with my evening because tomorrow's another great day and it is Wednesday, which means it's leg day and I better get my ass to bed early so I'm ready for that brutality. So everybody out there, keep those questions coming. Look at the notes underneath. There's lots of links down there for free resources at our website and other cool stuff you can check out. And message me if you have anything. Please comment if you have something nice to say. And it would also mean a lot to me if you would share this video and recommend us to a friend or a loved one, because once again, it really helps support our mission in spreading this information to everybody we possibly can. So once again, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Click that notification bell because we'll have more videos coming up this week, including my long-awaited intensity video. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's going to be a good one, and that's going to be a good segue into upcoming, finally, we're going to start filming workouts, and you're going to get solid workout videos on the channel, and we're going to pick a muscle group of the week, film it, go through it, unedited, lots of fun, and you can kind of jump in the trenches with us and hang out with us while we kill ourselves out there banging some weights around. So I'm looking forward to that. So thanks again. Have a fantastic night. Go train hard, eat a steak, get lots of rest, and I'll see you the next time.